Hey, so today I want to talk about the idea of the reverse hockey stick, or I guess just like a hockey stick graph. It's essentially the idea that for a very extended period of time, nothing happens, and then in a very short period of time, a large multiple more happens. And so basically, this is the case where you will go 10 years with minuscule progress and a very, very small change in your graph. And then one of those 10 years, usually one of the last ones, suddenly everything 10x's, 20x's, 30x's. And it's just kind of the notion that many successful people will work for decades unnoticed, and then overnight they will become extremely successful, and then they're called overnight successes, or that they got lucky. But they were just so much of nobodies for so long that nobody ever counted the amount of time that they spent working up to this and that original part of the hockey stick, the base. And so a lot of people, before they were super successful, have no previous history unless they themselves have recollected it in some sort of like autobiography or something. But like, we don't have the history of many super successful people. And the reason behind this is because they weren't successful until they were. And the only reason that people even cared to take notice of them is once they were successful. So when they weren't successful, they were just an ordinary person and nobody cared about them. And so it seems that in the media, we only see the people who were overnight successes, but we just don't ever get to see the 10, 20 years of prior effort that it took for those people to get absolutely no results for that extended period of time before they became successful. And so this is kind of just a message for you. Maybe it's motivating, maybe it's inspiring in any way, but it's just the idea that like, you're probably going to have to do a lot of work if you want to be successful, whether it's starting your own business or in literally any realm, a lot of work for a very long time, and get absolutely nothing done before anything happens at all. And I feel like I've been living Groundhog Day for the last 3 years. Honestly, probably closer to 4. But I was reflecting the other day, and I feel like the last couple of years, I've pretty much not changed. Like, nothing in my life has really monumentally changed. I have maybe gained like 10 pounds of muscle. I'm a bit stronger, a bit bigger, a bit older looking. But otherwise, I'm the same. I'm making the same amount of money that I was a couple of years ago. And in every single aspect of life, I am in the same position that I was 3-4 years ago, with minor changes. But I have been doing a lot of things. I like go to the gym quite consistently. I read a lot. I learn a lot. And so why has nothing changed? It's because I'm probably at the base of my hockey stick. And so I'm probably going through one of those periods, like many of you likely are, where absolutely nothing is happening and you're putting in extreme amounts of effort and getting absolutely no feedback. And the people who win are the ones who can put in that extraordinary amount of effort, whatever you're doing in life, but just put an extraordinary amount of effort into it and not expect immediate results. If you can detach yourself from any results at all, then you're going to win, because you're going to be able to go long enough that eventually you will experience the hockey stick. And suddenly, after 20 years of working really hard, not expecting anything, you have everything. And I think it's quite a beautiful system, because you don't know at any point in time if you are ever going to be successful or if what you are doing is ever going to work. And you have no idea if you are ever going to make it happen. And then one day it all happens at the same time. I think it's a beautifully terrifying process, because it weeds out the people who want it for the wrong reasons. Because the people who want it just for the success drop out a quarter of the way through because they don't see anything happen. But the people who deserve success and don't want necessarily success, but the story or the influence or the impact, those are the people that make it, because they're not attached to the result, they're attached to the grind. And so they can get no result and it changes absolutely nothing about their work ethic. And I think it's a beautiful system, because that means a lot of the time, unless you're born into it or for some other reason like the lottery, people who are very wealthy deserve the wealth. They earn the wealth. And some people inherit it, it's different stories, but like for a majority of people, the ones who earn the wealth, they really did earn it, because typically there are the people who stuck to it for long enough to the point where they understood the fact that the result was not guaranteed and probably pretty unlikely, and they kept going anyway. All the people who gave up halfway were the ones that were too result driven and not enough driven by, I guess, the principle of what they were doing. Like, I guess the best example you can probably use right now is like Elon. Like, dude just doesn't stop. He works like 100 hours a week or something, and he's been doing it since he was in college. And I'm pretty sure he has enough money. He's worth like 650 billion as we speak, and I don't think he needs more money. I don't think he thinks he needs more money either, and I don't think he spends much money either. And so, well, why is he as successful as he is? It's because he's not result driven. He's, I guess you could say, purpose driven, or he's driven by things other than the destination, and that allows you to continue going for as long as you would like to go. People who are driven by the destination are only driven until either they get disappointed that they haven't reached the destination and quit, or until they reach the destination. But the people who are very successful are the ones that have no desire, or at least are not affected by not reaching the destination. It's the people who continue to work even after years of no results that eventually do get results, because they just never give up, because they don't care about the results nearly as much as you might think. And this is why kind of the idea of like, if you're chasing money, it might not work, but if you're chasing something else, it might. But I don't know, I could be talking out of my ass because I'm not rich, so I'm not one to tell you anything about what it's like to be rich, because I am absolutely not rich. But it's just a thought of mine. You can think about it for yourself. If you think that I'm wrong, comment it, explain it to me. I would love to learn. But just an observation of mine, I guess, is just that the people who are doing it for the outcome typically fall off really early on, because they understand that it's not guaranteed. And when they understand it's not guaranteed, they go to plan B. And it's the people that stick to it for a really long time that win. Not necessarily because they're focused on the outcome. Maybe sometime. There's no absolutes, right? But I think that it's the people who get the major outcome or the major win are the ones that stick to it for the process and not the destination. It's the people who actually like working 80 to 100 hours a week. It's not the people who like being rich, because even then, if it's the people who want to be really wealthy, then once they achieve all that wealth, they're going to really love it, live lavishly, and then they're going to be out of money. And then they're going to have to do it all over again. So, just a thought. So, I guess where you can apply this in your life is just, if you're going to be one of those people that wants to be super successful, maybe focus more so on the person required in order to become successful, or the lifestyle, and enjoy the lifestyle. And eventually you'll reach the destination without ever realizing it, because you love the lifestyle so much that the destination, the amount of time it took you to get there, doesn't matter to you. Because if you're constantly focused on, oh, I need 10 more years, or I need to be there in the next 10 years or else, and you don't get there, then it's like, then you'll quit because you didn't get there. But that's just not how it's ever going to work. So yeah, maybe if you agree with what I said, shift your focus away from the destination and more towards the journey or the effort required to get where you want to be, and become the person who can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.